Good afternoon. Welcome to the TheoTrade afternoon video. I am Blake Young, and today is May 8th, 2025. Today we're going to talk about Trump speak, as well as growth indicators, energy, inflation. To start with, we're just going to be here on the S&P 500, and we finally have seen what I'm feeling a little bit more confident of saying: we have a recovery. Now, this is being driven off of speculation, commentary, that still has nothing to prove yet that we have a deal with China. So today's announcement, when we talk about Trump speak, today's announcement was that we have deals going with the UK, that we're working deals with Ukraine, and that we have hopeful of a positive resolution in China. Now, that Chinese resolution still isn't there. We know we don't have a deal yet. We know that the negotiations have not been lifted. We have tweets and comments that we're getting close to a deal, and then the next day we hear that we still have it laid out for 140, 150% tariffs. So I'm not buying into the fact that we have resolution, at least not with China. And so the hope is that as the tariff negotiations deals are working out, that the tariffs are going to be slowly pulled back or removed, and this sell-off and destruction that was in the market is going to be over. Now, this is a Bollinger Band breakout for my trading methodology, and this would be something that I would expect to come up to about 580, maybe 590. I am a little concerned with this sell-off that we paused here because it was previous support levels, this holding pattern, and a previous resistance. So I really would like to see it clear 575, but it is a hopeful move. Yet it's on very, very light volume, so it's not convincing to me yet. And so as we look at this, what we're going to look at is the expectations and growth that we'd expect to see happening in the markets if we really were seeing a return to demand or expectations of a return to demand. Now, the couple things we'll look at the idea of inflation as represented by gold at a 2% rate or more. And today, as we look at gold prices, there we go. We're not showing inflation, we're showing this pullback. So the Fed left rates higher, which means that we're not needing the inflation hedge, and we're not seeing an inflation or a growth inflation type of move. We generally would expect to see inflation growing and hedged out at 2 to 3% per year if we're in a normal, stable growth environment. And so the fact that the fact that gold is climbing and then selling off with the Fed announcement is telling me that we're in this holding pattern, and as long as the Fed is leaving rates high, we might be in a holding pattern and even see gold return to 3,200. As we look at this and compare to copper, copper is my favorite growth indicator, and if we really were seeing demand and growth, we wouldn't expect copper to be down. So despite the announcement, despite the commentary, despite the deals being negotiated, we're right back at support, and this is not a strong indication of growth or anticipation of growth and higher demand for copper. If we look at crude prices have come up today and have had a really strong day of about 3%. As we look at crude prices, we're still below that previous support and resistance area. We broke through the 66, we've dropped down, we put a new resistance at 64, so even though we bounced off of the new lows all the way down at 55, we're nowhere near getting into a bullish market. So this is likely a temporary bounce, and we're not done with the bearish trend. So crude's not showing demand or growth. Copper is not showing demand and growth. Inflation is not showing growth and demand. And overall, it doesn't look as promising to a recovery of everything that we've seen in the slowdowns, at least from price action in crude, gold, and copper. As we look at Chinese large cap, it looks like it's trying to lift, but I'm still not convinced that we're going to break out. And if we reverse and get through those lows, then I expect us to retest 30. And that may not look like a very big drop, but we're talking about 12% drop to drop back down to this level. If we break through this, then we could go 12% up, and that would be a retest of the highs. And so it does favor a small bullish breakout. If we can get through the highs of 2 days ago, I would be anticipating that China is going to perform well, and we're going to see it return back up to 38 and possibly higher. But if we fall down and break through 33.75, I'm looking for 30. And so China's at this cusp, does look positive, but again, it's not convincing because we've seen the data out of the copper gold, and oil. And we can talk about having a deal done with China, but until we see it actually come to fruition, then we can make that decision as far as what we're going to see next. Returning once again to the S&P 500 SPY chart, this does look like it's trying to break free. This is a buy signal for my methodology. This could be a temporary move up. Like I said, 580, maybe we go even higher, but here's what is interesting to me. Like I said, I'm unconvinced as far as copper, gold, crude. I'm unconvinced as far as China is concerned, FXI. But if we're talking large business cycle, we've had the correction. And if we're looking at the business cycle, generally speaking, as we go into a recession, which we had a negative GDP quarter, as we get to the middle of that recession, we get the second negative GDP quarter. We acknowledge that we're in a recession officially. That's usually when we're turning the cycle on the other side. And what we would look at in that early rotation from contraction or recession into stabilization and early growth, we would be looking at industrials and financials. Industrials and financials. Financials is one of the ones that starts improving in the middle of a recession as it starts to see lending and growth again. And industrials as we see that money being used to grow. If we took it to those two ETFs and said, let's take a look at XLF, XLF broke out as well. XLF cleared this previous high, and there's one little pause here at 50.20 that I'd love to see it close above, but it looks very similar to the SPY, and it looks like a potential breakout for me. And that breakout would be looking for at least a $2 move higher. That would bring us up to 52, and it'd fill the gap back here. If we look at XLI industrials, industrials had an even stronger breakout. You can see we broke any downtrend. We got a Bollinger Band breakout here, a bounce off of that, and a continuation higher. We've cleared all the highs all the way back through March, which no other industry really has done, or no other sector has really done. And so industrials are really showing a lot of strength into this higher high, higher low scenario. So industrials do seem to be leading the charge and pointing to the fact that maybe we're going to the early growth potential of the economic cycle. And that would have me looking at specific stocks in the aerospace like Boeing and GE and Raytheon, Caterpillar, Deere, Cummins, Union Pacific, and other stocks here. One specific I like is Eaton, and Eaton has broken out back here, continued past earnings, and is closing higher than all the prices in March. So it looks like industrials, but it does give us a price pattern that could be an inverse head and shoulders, and I would be looking for this 235 to 305, which means a 70-point move going to 375 and returning all the way back up to this gap that happened back in January. So Eaton has a very high potential, a very good setup on this chart where we could be going for 20-25% growth and recovery on this industrial stock. And the last specific one I'll cover today is Boeing. Fascinating to see that despite the return of those planes in the negotiations, we see a breakout today. We see growth, light volume in the last couple of weeks, but today was significantly higher volume on a significantly higher breakout. So we cleared all the highs, not just through March, not just through 2025. We've cleared all the highs going back to July of last year. So this breakout on good volume is very promising. The Bollinger Band trade would have been the better setup at 175, but today is a solid breakout. And we could be looking for a repeat of $50 or higher and looking for a similar 20-25% growth in Boeing over the next 6 months. So very promising on Boeing, very promising on Eaton. Industrials look strong, and it's purely from a technical perspective. Be aware we have to manage our risk with this news-driven or event-driven or tweet-driven or special news conference-driven market. But if we pay attention to the areas that the money is moving, the volume is there, and the cycles that are going on, we're going to see that we can still play in this market in a safe and productive way. That's going to do it for me today. Have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you again next week.